You keep surprising this person with all the different aspects about you that they have discovered. Your quirkiness is so endearing. Your inner light, your aura, your energy is just so inviting and reassuring. The way that your mind works excites this person, and they think that your kind of like view on life and love is just so sweet. It's like a fantasy that they want to step into. And this can be something where you haven't given them a whole lot of, details as far as like what it is you're looking for, or your idea of happily ever after, but there have been little kind of like clues or indicators, things that have slipped out that have let this person know that as much as you might be somebody who, is street smart, you've been through your ups and downs in life and in love, and you've come out stronger and wiser, that there is still a dreamer inside of you. There's still a level of innocence inside of you that is like, had to like temper my expectations. I've had to, become kind of realistic in terms of what I'm searching for, what I'm seeking, what I'm able to find. But there's a part of me that still wants that kind of like magical moment, that magical experience with someone. I still have that wish upon a star that I made long ago tucked into the back of my mind. And if that comes true, it's heaven on earth. And so, with this energy of, I like that you are different from the rest, this person is very like attracted to and drawn to almost like the polarities within you, the contradictions within you, the sense that almost like when they think they know you, you totally surprise them, and there's a whole different aspect of you which is revealed. Every time this person feels like they get to fall in love with sort of like another face of you, but it's all just you. This is somebody that understands that to proceed forward in romance will be a very intense experience, a very life-changing experience. It feels like you have a very powerful energy about you. You may be somebody that like awakens others. You may resonate as a light worker, as a way shower. And certainly this is something that has, profoundly affected this person, this romantic interest as well, without even meaning to. You have sparked a powerful transformation within them at a soul level, as a person, energetically speaking, not to mention romantically, like you've opened their heart in some sort of way. You have helped this person to no longer hold on to almost kind of like bitterness and resentments from the past, expectations of sort of like what they were able to experience at this point in their life based on kind of like attempts and failures and other circumstances, romantically speaking, in the past. It's like you provide this kind of like blank slate, this fresh start, and yet at the same point in time, it's almost like you are that wish fulfillment that they have been seeking. This person could definitely feel like you might be that answered prayer. You could be that wish on the star that they made long ago that has finally landed, that has finally like landed in their lap. It has come to be. And so there's a sense that they like the fact that there's everything about this situation that is proving all of their misconceptions, all of their woundedness completely wrong as far as like what love would look like at this phase in their life. This is somebody, that it feels like had an open mind or an open heart, like no matter what they've been through, they still wanted partnership. This wasn't somebody that was just like totally turned off to the idea of love altogether. But you've like brought a lot to the surface that lets them know that it's like the best years of their life haven't passed them by. That whoever is in the rear view mirror of their reality or is now just a ghost of the past, that wasn't the best. That wasn't kind of like the pinnacle of what they were to experience as far as love is concerned. That maybe all of that kind of journeying through disappointment, hopes being raised and hopes being dashed, and then coming to this place where they are in their life at this moment, and now you are in their life at this moment, that this is like the moment that they've been waiting for. This is what everything has been preparation for. What else have you? Inspire me to do better. So this person definitely, it feels like it's taking some time to take a good long look at themselves in the mirror. What can they fix? What can they improve upon? What are certain blind spots that they know for a fact have sort of surfaced in various kind of sneaky ways in previous romantic connections that all tie into like a pattern of wounding within themselves? That if they can just head that off at the pass, maybe there's a chance in this situation that there won't be similar stumbling blocks between the two of you, as kind of like capsized connections that they were very hopeful about, that seemed to have a lot of potential in the past, and then that wounding got in the way. This is somebody that is also taking the time to make sure that any kind of like lingering situationships, talking phases that they had with other people, they're cutting those things off completely. They may be like closing out social media accounts, kind of like deleting phone numbers, or chats with other people, not to hide anything, but just as a way of like kind of a symbolic gesture, of like, I'm done with that phase in my life of keeping options open. I have created a sense of certainty, or I'm experiencing a sense of certainty in this moment with you, that I want to progress forward exclusively. I don't want there to be any potential doubt within you that I only have eyes for you. This is somebody that wants to kind of gather all of their energies and resources up at this moment in time and really pour forth in the best way possible into this experience with you, into being very curious and very excited about kind of like what comes next, into sort of learning your needs, both the things that you have stated out loud and things that they are able to infer, so that they can make efforts to kind of like show up for you in ways you don't need to ask them to. It's kind of like just doing things without you needing to ask them, anticipating kind of like, what are some things that make you smile, and when might these be good to kind of give, not just like, I'm going to bring you a dozen roses on Valentine's Day, and I'm going to take you out to dinner on your birthday, but kind of like, what can I do on an ordinary Tuesday? What can I do in kind of the middle of our conversation, just to add a little bit of spice, add a little bit of spark right back in there, add a little bit of acknowledgement that, aside from, even if you're just talking about mundane things, talking about the weather, talking about work, talking about special interests, that they kind of bring that back around to the sense of appreciation. Like, thank you for being in this moment with me. Thank you for being you. Thank you for, holding space to get to know me, and for opening up your heart and your life and allowing me to become a part of that. We also have, I have so much to tell you. Yeah, so there are deep feelings that this person has for you. There's a lot of affection that they want to express. There are affirmations of love that they want to give forth. This is somebody that wants you to understand. They appreciate you for all that you are. This is somebody that wants to celebrate what they anticipate are flaws, like what you perceive as flaws within you. Parts of yourself that other romantic partners might have overlooked, judged, or criticized. It's like this person wants to learn the name of your wounds so they can find how to kiss those best, to help kind of ease any sort of pain or uncertainty you might hold within. Even if you're a very confident person, you've been on a healing journey, or you've moved past certain disappointments of the past, this person may be somebody who's very aware of how past wounds can have a tendency to haunt. The echo of what has happened in painful circumstances often has a way to intrude upon the happiness of the present. This may be something that they have experienced very directly within themselves. That could be a blind spot that they're trying to like look towards. They're trying to sort of corner that in a way so that it doesn't rear its ugly head in the situation with you. But this is also somebody with enough of kind of like a wider perspective to understand, hey, if I've got these kind of like issues, or these fears, or these things which have a tendency to surface within me, certainly you have similar things within yourself. They may be different. They may have been sourced from different things, but it's the same kind of idea. So as much as this person is trying to just be very mindful and acknowledge certain kind of like what they would consider flaws or shortcomings or fears or wounds within them, this is somebody that wants to kind of like create space in this connection for you to understand like these parts of yourself are accepted, they are seen, and they are lovable. They are aspects of you that this person wants to make an attempt to love as well, or to help kind of bring you from a place of being self-conscious about that, or kind of clutching those things like deeply within your shadow, in a place that's sort of away from where they can be known or seen in this connection. Like, they don't want to press you to open up about anything you don't feel comfortable about. If you do open up and share things with them about experiences you've had in the past, needs and desires and intentions that you have, and kind of like how that's based on previous circumstances and people that sort of created that need for something more, or the need to kind of like raise the standard in some way. This is somebody that is kind of like, yeah, I get that. I will be an active listener. I will take the time to learn that. I will take that into consideration and make sure that I'm doing my best to avoid avoid those wounds within you, or to try to help find a way to sort of like ease any of that suffering and fear you hold within yourself, and to let you know that it's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You are perfect in my eyes, even with these parts of you that are maybe fearful of love, like desiring of love, but fearful of love, because it feels like they have that same component within them, desiring of love, but at the same time kind of like fearful of love. We also have, I'll never forget the time we spent together. So it feels like recent encounters with you have made a huge impact on this person. You may have had a very deep conversation recently, or just the mood was right, the atmosphere was right. It's like they saw you for the first time with fresh eyes. Like they saw you before, they were attracted to you before, they felt that connection before, they found you very attractive before, but there's something that almost represents kind of like a space within them that has opened up, that they've been able to see you with more of themselves. They've been able to kind of see a new facet of you that has helped to kind of change certain like preconceptions that they had, assumptions that they had about like who you are or what would come next within the situation based on what you've shown them up to this point in time. It's like you might be somebody that was holding your, holding your hand of cards very close to your chest, and they've gotten a little peek at those cards. They've been shown something. They now have kind of like a different idea of like, oh, so this is an aspect of you as well. This is something that's a need within you. This is something that when I've done this, or when I've said this, or we've had this kind of experience, there's been a facet of you which has been revealed, maybe just very quickly, maybe just a glimpse of it, but it's been given this person enough information to know there is so much more to you than meets the eye. And I find all of that to be wonderful. Everything that you have chosen to bestow upon me in terms of knowledge of yourself, time spent in your company, all of that is something which is a gift. It's very precious. It's very much something that I cherish. I also have, I can't wait to have you in my arms again. Yeah, so this person is definitely looking forward to intimacy with you, sexual intimacy with you, physical intimacy with you, even just being in your presence and like looking into your eyes, sharing that same airspace with you. It's bringing to mind the idea of like a romantic candlelit dinner. So they may have something that they're planning in that regard, or it's the idea of like I want that to happen, even if it's something where we're just at my kitchen table. And it's something that I've cooked on the stove myself, and we've set the mood, or I've set the mood within what is just kind of like typically like an ordinary circumstance. I want to go kind of the extra mile in this situation to make you understand like even the ordinary moments with you are very sacred. Holding space with you, being in your presence, having those experiences with you, this is something that really adds to the measure of my existence. You bring a very beautiful light, a very beautiful energy. Your presence in and of itself is a thing of beauty within their world, within their being. And so this is somebody that wants to hold you close. They want to pull you in closer. They want to have more experiences with you. I'm hiding my true feelings for you. So it feels like this person definitely is already in love with you, and it may be something where they're kind of like waiting for a special occasion, waiting for a special moment, kind of like planning it all out in order to be able to kind of tell you that, or sort of like, okay, it'll feel right, but we're moving in that direction of when I feel kind of inspired to say that, when I feel inspired to tell you that, when it feels right to kind of evolve into that aspect of our connection with one another, absolutely, hands down, I will definitely do that. Saying those words, I love you, like even it feels like this person has kind of like said that to themselves. They've kind of rehearsed that to themselves and in conjunction with you. And for the first time, it actually like holds meaning in a deeper way than it has with other partners. And certainly in a deeper way that is kind of like affecting them on multiple levels than it has in quite some time when they have said that. And so those words carry a lot of weight, carry a lot of meaning to this person. The idea of like, I love you. And it's not just kind of like, the cliche, like, okay, let's say that, and it'll be some kind of, kind of contract between the two of us that we're going to keep doing this very exclusively until we don't want to anymore. But this is almost somebody that imagines like, when I say those words finally, when those become part of our like regular exchanges, part of our regular experiences with one another, not in a casual way, not in a nonchalant way, that it almost signifies kind of like the beginning of something very long term. This person is thinking about the long term future with you, what it would be like to continue to ascend all of these different levels of what's possible. We also have I check up on you through social media. So this person loves any content that you put out on social media, things that you post, pictures that you post, videos that you post, things that give them kind of a glimpse into your internal world. Any music that you put up, in conjunction with things, it kind of lets them know about like your taste, maybe a very eclectic musical taste, or things where you're even kind of like the way you describe things. You let some of your humor come out. You let your opinions come out. You let it be known, kind of like the things that you like, the little world that you've built for yourself, or the persona that you've constructed on that social media platform that may even be very different from like who you are in person, who you are in real life. That may just be the glimpse and like the richness and the fullness of who you are in actuality. It's like this person feels so privileged to be able to kind of see behind the curtain, to see the real you, and to compare that with kind of like how you've been able to capture that on film, how you've been able to kind of like express that out, the things that you mark as like momentous occasions or memories worth saving, or we're sharing, or we're speaking about. This is something that it feels like helps this person to see that you like see the world through the eyes of love. You're not a naive person. You're a very wise person, but this person also sees, like it translates through everything that you do, that you're the type of person, you leave a little sprinkle of magic everywhere you go. You leave a little bit of love everywhere that you go. You turn people's attention away from everything that is the complete antithesis of love, and people are changed for the better after having been in your presence. There's a little more kind of like lightness in the air. There's a little more kind of optimism. There's a little more brightness where before there might have been stuck energy or stagnation. This person sees you as like a force for good in the world, certainly a force for good within their life. And so this is somebody it feels like also that is kind of like excited about the idea about, yeah, let's put our pictures up on social media. Let's make those announcements. Let's get those posts, kind of changing from just something where we're each doing our own thing to, no, we're doing things as a couple. Like we each have one another. We have found one another. We have found true love in the material sense within this impersonal digital age. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.